afternoon and welcome to our Field Trip Friday. We are here today at the Burma Center right here in Springfield, Michigan. We're here with Tash. She's going to give us a little bit of a tour so that we can see what's going on here at the Burma Center. My name is Kara Beer and I'm the president of the Battle Creek Area Chamber of Commerce, and we say thank you for joining us on Field Trip Friday. Tash, why don't you give us a little bit of information about where we're at?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Tash. I'm the executive director here at the Burma Center. We're located in Springfield, Michigan, 765 Upton Street. So if you want to come see us sometime, please welcome to stop by.
Awesome. So this is, if you want to take a little span of the location here back, we've got the Kellogg Community High School is right here with us as well. We're right here on Upton Street in Springfield, Michigan. We're going to go ahead and go inside and talk a little bit about some of the programming that we have going on here at the Burma Center. This is a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit about what is the Burmese population, why is it so important in our community, and what kinds of programming do we have here that helps not only the Burmese population, but also everyone here in our community learning more about the diversity and culture of the Burma Center. So come on in.
Come on in. Open the door for you both.
Thank you. So, Todd, tell me a little bit about what's going on here. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background history about who we are and how we came to be. So the Burma Center was founded in 2011 when there was a high number of Burmese refugees that were resettled here. And so when you think about refugees who were displaced for a long time and then coming into a country where they only get support for 3 months from the agencies that does resettlement, it's hard, you don't understand the culture, you don't understand the language, and you don't understand all these complex systems that exist to serve us. And so the purpose of the original mission was to really help people navigate these institutions and resources so that they can live and survive the new American life.
So tell me a little bit about the fact that, you talk about refugees that came here. How did they come here? What started this massive influx of Burmese population here in Battle Creek?
Such a good question. So so Burma is under a military coup right now as we speak. That started in February of this year. So much like the coup now, multiple coups have occurred early in the 1960s and 1988. So many of the people that are here are a result of those coups. People who have to flee because of safety reasons, because they were actively engaged in their fight for freedom. And some of them because of their ethnicity, because they were a minority, or because of the religion that they practice. And so you get a variety of people of why they flee the country and resettled and became refugees.
So what made them choose Battle Creek?
Good question. Some I don't think they choose. I think the government then decide where they are, resettlement agency, where to send them, I would say. And then some is because they know somebody that lived here, and therefore they're like, oh, I know a friend who lived there and I want to live there because then they can help me a little bit with my everyday need. And I think you probably know the Kellogg family were here way back with the sponsorship from a church a long time ago, and so people knew them. And so I think they play a significant role in attracting more Burmese people to resettle here.
So one of the other questions that we get a lot about the Burma population is how, the language. So it's not just a Burmese language. There's quite a bit of dialects that are a part of that. And so one of the great features that you offer here is translation.
Yes.
I know that you talk about the fact that you have a great partnership with Bronson and Grace Health, and that you are a translator, not you personally, but yes, personally. But you also do a lot of translation skills.
Yeah, we do. And so to answer your first question about the complexity of the Burmese community and the different languages and different cultures, so Burma is ethnically very diverse. So we have about 18 that's ethnically distinct group of people, major ethnic groups, and we have a bunch of other tribal group within those group as well. And so Burmese is the main language that is often used, but not all ethnic groups use that for a variety of reasons because of the history of the government and the coup and then what felt like a dictatorship for a long time. And so here locally there are about 5 different languages that are spoken. And I use the word language versus dialect because they're very distinct from each other. I wouldn't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? That difference in terms of even the characters and the writing. And so we have 5 different languages that are spoken here, and many of them, they may understand Burmese, but they may not be able to read and write. And so in the work that we do, we make sure that we are really truly accessible when we're disseminating information to our community. As far as the interpretation translation services that we offer, so interpretation is like the oral communications and translation is the writing that we do. And we do both to the community. So we've been doing a lot of translation work for, as you said, our government here, different nonprofit organizations, different health agencies, and Bronson in particular, we work closely with our medical interpretation services.
So one of the things that Todd talks about in regards to the interpretation and the translation, during COVID, we were a part of a group that still continues to meet, but Todd was great in regards to everything that came out as a resource with COVID-19 was translated and interpreted to the Burmese population here in our community for a great purpose. And so we always made sure that any of the videos that were done were also interpreted in the Burmese. We had lots of meetings, virtual meetings. So it was more than just them having to understand what's going on in English. We were able to do that. And so I greatly appreciate the work that you did with the government side of this to make sure that everybody knew what COVID-19 meant in all of the languages that we had to offer too. And one of the other great pieces is the resource that you provide is not just, although you're not alone in that in regards to, you have a great partnership with the Urban League and you have a great partnership with VOCES, really creating those diverse backgrounds and programs.
Yeah. And so I think what I'd like to elaborate on is that at the Burma Center, we know that, despite our cultural differences or our racial differences, some of the issues that we experience as a community are very much similar. And so what we do intentionally is to really think about how do we collaborate with other people to really advance our mission, which is to empower Burmese American and the greater Battle Creek community and Springfield through advocacy, education, and community engagement, so that all of us not just survive, but really thrive and have a lasting roots here, I would say.
And so, we're in the Burma Center, but there's a lot of other partners that are also in the Burma Center. You're essentially a landlord because the Burma Center is owned by the Burma. This is your building.
Yes.
And so you have tenants here. What other tenants do you have here in the Burma Center?
Yeah, so in addition to the Burma Center and all the programmings that we do, the different pillars that we mentioned earlier, our tenants, we serve about, this is the home of 8 different nonprofit or different educational institutions. And so we have 2 independent childcare center, one Woodlawn and the other Catching the Dream, which is a new childcare center for Burmese families. And then we also have Early Childhood Connection that rent space and do their programming here as well. We have the Alternative High School. We have Vets Helping Vets. We have Easy Way Driving School here. And then we also have, I would say, Seventh-day Adventists. They do a lot of emergency response and just a bunch of other community services.
So really, truly, a community center.
Yes.
And that's, we were here a few weeks ago. It might have been almost 2 months now.
Okay.
A month or two when we did the ribbon cutting for Catching the Dream.
Yeah.
The first in the nation of its kind. Just a really remarkable early childhood center for the Burmese population here in our community. Really putting us on the mark or on the map. And so, just great things that are happening here. So with this space right here, what does it look like on a given day? I mean, is there a lot of traffic? Is there lots of folks? You have partnerships with Sprout. You've got partnerships with the food bank. You've got partnerships with all different kinds of things that you would think of as a community center.
Yes.
So what kinds of things happen on a daily basis here at the Burma Center?
So we have the high school that has about 160 students that goes in and out. Woodlawn has about 30, and then the Catching a Dream has about 40-something students. And then I forgot to mention C3E, they have their E3CIR, they have their arts program here for adults with disability. And so given all the different other tenants that I mentioned, I think we probably have about 300 people that go in and out of this building daily. And then in addition to these daily activities, we have events like this Saturday where we're doing a community health clinic where people can get their COVID vaccine, their booster shot, their flu vaccine, get access and support to navigate the marketplace or the health insurance through Medicaid or Medicare, as well as through the hearing and vision aid that CareWell support. So all of them will be coming here this Saturday from 10 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. to assist our community that way.
So is that open to the community as a whole?
Yeah.
Or is that something just for the Burmese population?
No, it's open to everyone in the community, and we will also have free food. Food distribution will also take place. And so if you yourself are in need of those assistance or know of somebody, please come out. This is probably maybe the 5th event that we have hosted here at the Burma Center. I think we've successfully supported the vaccination effort of over 400 people across the different races, across the different areas of the city.
Wonderful. And so, Todd, when did you get here? And in regards to being the new executive director, all of those wonderful questions that we talked about earlier, but how did you come to the Burma Center?
Yeah, so I was on the board, and then I think maybe 3 months into my role as a board member, the director at the time retired, and so we struggled finding one, and so I served as an interim, and I became a full-time staff as of October last year. But I've been working as an interim / part-time ED for quite a significant amount of time.
Great. And so how many staff members do you have at the Burma Center?
We have 8. So we've grown. We have 7 full-time recently, and then 1 part-time and another part-time that we're bringing on.
And so, we were talking a little bit earlier about, the Burmese population and how it's growing and declining a little bit here in Battle Creek, based upon some of the data that you have. And so really looking at how you as an organization access that information and what do you do with that information. So if you're working with different businesses, how are you explaining that? Because that's important for us to know.
Yeah, it is. And thank you for such a good question too. So right now, many people who have experienced working with Burmese people have known that Burmese people are very hardworking and they're very loyal employees, and so many people enjoy working with them. But what they have experienced is that many people are leaving, especially during the pandemic time. And so in the past, at the peak, we had about 3,000 to 3,500, but now the number is looking more like 2,000 based on the membership data through an organized institutions like faith-based. And so for me, when we look at that data, we think about why are people leaving and what can we do differently to make people know that they can stay here and then that their needs are met. And so we hope to use that information to really begin to shape the Burma Center and the different services that we provide so that people feel like, we're not just surviving, but we're thriving. And these are the different programs and infrastructure in place that can help me achieve my goals. And so for businesses too, I think, how do you have the support in place for Burmese people who might have interest in advancing their skills or moving upward the ladder within the companies that they're working for, as a way to attract more people to come or as a way to even retain the talents that you have.
Yeah. And so how do people get a hold of you? How do they get a hold of the Burma Center? If they are a business or if they are just a community member looking to get involved in an organization such as yours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we you now know where we're located in Springfield, 765 Upton Street. You can also go on our website, www.burmacenterusa.org, to learn more about the programs that we do and who to contact specific to if there's a program that you're interested in. And I'm having a little brain fart right now. I can't remember our phone, but our phone number should be on our website.
It's all right. We've also tagged you on Facebook so that you can share this as well, so folks can find you. So, and our last question, I really want you guys to tell me, if there's a burning thing that you want to make sure that all of our viewers see.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to have this time to be able to do that and share that. We've talked about the community health fair that's happening this weekend, which is November 13th.
Yes.
So Saturday the 13th, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that is open to the community to come out starting at 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. If you haven't had your booster yet and you're looking to do so, stop on out, check that out. Mm-hmm. But also if you're looking at working through the marketplace, if you have other questions, hearing, vision, all those services will be provided here at that community health fair. But something else that you guys have going on that you want to just make mention, or if you just want to say, we'd love how many volunteers you need for an event that size, or if there's teaching opportunities at any of your tenants, anything like that you'd like to add?
Yeah, such a good question. I'm going to take about 5 minutes. No,
go ahead.
I'm kidding. So we, at the Burma Center, we offer a variety of programs, and one of our programs that I want to highlight is our civic engagement program. So we do teach our community members who want to become naturalized, how to prepare for that, and what does civic engagement look like. And so we are looking for volunteers of native speaker who wants to practice English with our Burmese community. So if you're interested in that, especially if you're a retired teacher, please call us and sign up for that. We also have our tutoring program and after school program for our both middle and high school students. They have tutor support once a week, and so if you're interested in helping students with their homework or just being like an adult that support them with, just the stress of being a young person in our society, we are looking for volunteers in that capacity as well. We are also in the midst where we're going to be starting a capital campaign. We'll be happy to talk more about that. The Burma Center building is beautiful, and as I said, it provides such a tremendous asset and resources to the community across the different backgrounds. But the building is old, and we need a new HVAC system, a new roof, and a parking lot. And I know those are not like necessarily sexy things that people want to invest in, but they're the critical things that really keep our doors open. So we'll be working with the chamber and a few community partners to really help us really launch and have a successful capital campaign.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to really talk about the Burma Center, but also just kind of sharing in regards to all of the information that you have. We greatly appreciate our partnership with the Burma Center. For you to make sure that you check out, it's 765 Upton Street. It is the old Springfield
Math and Science Center.
And so we are really excited to be here today and showcase this. But check out the Burma Center as soon as you possibly can, because there's some really great volunteer opportunities as well as engagement opportunities as it's one of their community pillars. So thank you for joining us today at our Field Trip Friday, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.